Welcome to Create with Chris. I'm Chris Haughey, and today I will be showing you how easy it is to paint this adorable Love You More tag. Starting with an MDF tag, I just want to give it a nice base coat with lamp black. I'm using DecoArt Americana, applying it with a nice, soft, gentle oval wash. To keep my fingers clean and to keep the tag from moving around, I'm just using a stylus to hold it in place. You could use a pencil as well. Make sure that the base coat is nice and even. Give it a quick dry. I use the Ranger heat tool. Does a great job very quickly. Now that the base coat is dry, take a minute to clean up your workspace so that you don't get any black residue onto any of your other pieces. Pick the stencil you want. Want to make sure that you position it correctly. Once it's nice and centered, just grab a piece of painter's tape to secure it and hold it in place. Loading my spectacular stencil brush with Snow White. One of the biggest problems with stenciling is not getting nice, clean, crisp edges. Make sure after the brush is loaded that you wipe the excess out on a paper towel so you don't have heavy paint in your brush. My stencil brushes are nice and soft. It makes it very easy. Make sure you have a light touch and don't press the paint or push the paint down underneath the edges of the stencil. Because we are stenciling white over black, it's going to take a couple coats to make sure that it has a nice opaque coverage. I wanted to add a few hearts at the bottom. Again, I positioned the stencil and secured it with painter's tape. I decided to base coat the hearts with white. I thought maybe the pink would be a little bit brighter over the lamp black. After I did this, I realized it probably wouldn't really matter whether you base coated it in white before because the pink's a really bright color. Want to make sure it's dry before we put on that second coat. And the second coat is definitely needed, especially when you're doing a light color over a dark color. Realign the stencil, secure it again with that painter's tape, and using that same brush, I did not add any more paint. There's plenty in it. If you do add more paint, wipe it over a paper towel again. That will make sure you have a nice clean stencil. You want those crisp edges and maintain a very light touch when stenciling, and you will always get perfect results. After the white is painted on there, double check to make sure it's nice and opaque. Then we're going to go over to the coral blush and top coat those white hearts and make them nice and pink. Now you could use red or any other hot pink or any color of your choice. I did go back after I did the hearts at the bottom. There's a little heart on the bottom of the exclamation mark. I decided it would be cute to make that pink, so I did go back and make that heart pink as well. I decided it needed just a little more decoration around the edges. I'm using the white Uniball gel pen. Love this pen. I think out of all the white pens, this one gives the best opaque coverage. And if you notice, there's a little bit of a skip on there. I was going a little bit faster than the ink could roll out of the pen, so it gave a little bit of a hit and a skip. For this particular piece, I did like that, so I left it. But if you prefer nice solid stitches, just slow down a little bit. You'll get really great coverage. To make these letters look a little more hand painted and less stenciled, I decided to go in with the pen and just fill in those little bridges on the stencils so that it looks like the letters are continuous. This pen is just absolutely wonderful. You can add that and it just looks perfect. To finish up the tag, I had decided to use black and white baker's twine, but it was too much. It just didn't work with the design that I used, so I went ahead with jute twine. This is a 3-ply. If you have trouble getting it through the hole, just wrap a piece of tape around the end of it. Makes it easier to get in through the hole. I did a little twist and it went through just fine. To make sure that it's not going to slip out of place, I did tie a knot at the top just to keep everything in place. And at this point you can either fray out the ends of the jute. I went ahead and just put another little knot so it could be a hanging tag as well. So this is pretty much how easy it is to create this tag. I think it turned out great. I love it, and I hope you do too. Remember, all the supplies used are available at Cupboard Distributing, www.cdwood.com.